March Madness is here and it's fun, but it's also deeply analytical and stressful for me. I don't know about y'all, but I stress so much to just get like a 60% correct bracket. So today we're going to pick our final four and see where it leads us. Let's get into it. Starting relatively easy, every champion since 2002 has been top 25 in offense and top 40 in defense according to KenPom. So that gives us Duke, Michigan, Arizona, Florida, Houston, Iowa State, Purdue, Illinois, Louisville, Vanderbilt, Texas Tech, and Michigan State just barely. Next category, are they a 4 seed or better? Louisville is a 6 seed this year. Vanderbilt is a 5 seed, just missing it. And then Texas Tech is also a 5 seed, so those three are out. Up next, no team has ever won a national championship with a negative rebound margin. And the fun part is this eliminates no one. No champion has ever had a negative turnover margin since 2008, and that does leave some cause for concern because it puts Michigan, Illinois, and Michigan State on the chopping block. This is why I'm scared of those three, but we're going to keep them in just for now because it's close enough that it's not egregious. No champion since 1990 has shot below 33% from three, and there is one team who has this season, and it's Florida. So the defending champs are out. If you look at their game against Vandy, they shot 29% from three, which is rough, but they still out-rebounded. But if you don't make shots, it's hard to win a game. Two of these teams did not reach the semifinals of their conference tournaments. All champions have at least made it to the semifinals. Goodbye, Illinois and Michigan State. So that leaves us with Duke, Arizona, Purdue, Iowa State, Houston, and Michigan. Let's just eliminate one of those because they're going to break my heart. And let's not get our hopes up for that. Anyway, all these teams have a top 10 T rank, which is good. So we have 5 teams for 4 spots. So we're going to look at the routes now. Arizona is tricky because they play Utah State, which I think is the hardest 8-9 matchup of any 1 seed. Then they will probably play either Wisconsin or Arkansas, which could easily go underrated and could be in for a surprise. The only other real team that I think could dethrone them I don't really want to say out loud, so I feel pretty good about putting Arizona in the Final Four. In the Midwest, it's really hard to pick against Michigan. I don't see a really challenging opponent until maybe Alabama or the Elite Eight, where they would play Virginia or Iowa State. Now, obviously, I can't have Michigan and Iowa State in the Final Four. That would not be possible. When I have these toss-ups, I usually go with the safer option, and safer meaning the route is easier, and the route looks easier for me from Michigan. I think Santa Clara could beat Iowa State. I think Virginia could beat Iowa State. As much as I would love them in the Final Four, I don't think I can do it. On to the South, I was going to go with Houston, and then I looked at their just gross schedule that they have to get there, and now I don't want Houston. This is the toughest region in my mind. I don't trust Florida, but they could still make the Final Four out of this. Vanderbilt could make the Final Four. Illinois could. Houston could. If you want to be crazy, I think St. Mary's even could. So this really is all about safety for me. And I don't trust that Florida will beat Clemson or Iowa, but I think they will. But I really don't trust they will beat Vanderbilt or Nebraska. So I'm either going to feel really lucky and pick Vandy because they've beaten Florida, or I'm going to pick Illinois to win this. But whoever I pick, I won't pick them to win the national title. And in the last one, the East, I ended with them for a reason because I love Duke and I want to trust Duke, but I also am afraid of Duke, and I need to explain why. Duke lost Caleb Foster, their third most efficient player on their team, to a broken foot, and I don't think he will come back unless COVID hits again. So they put in Caden Boozer, and watch what Florida State does here to guard him. They don't guard him. They let him shoot a wide open three because he's a 27% three shooter. And while he didn't play the whole game, he played enough to where it was concerning to watch him just be wide open and then miss a wide open shot. This is called dorking, and yes, that's what it's actually called. The filmer made a great video on this. I'll link it down below if you want to watch more in depth about it. Now, I think Jon Scheyer is a smart coach. He started doing invert and pick and roll here. Watch Boozer come and set the screen. It allows him to roll to the basket and I'll have to shoot a wide open three. God forbid we do that. I actually think Duke's route isn't egregiously bad. St. John scares me, and Michigan State or UConn isn't ideal, but it could be a lot worse in my opinion. Since Caleb Foster's injury, Duke has been the 15th most efficient team in the country, which is far off from where they have been. The final four I landed on was Duke, Illinois, Arizona, and Michigan. If I feel brave, I'll put Purdue in Arizona. If I feel insane, I'll put Vandy in over Illinois. Between the two, I'm begrudgingly going to trust Jon Scheyer to get the ship right and win the national title. Michigan scared me a little bit too much after this game, and the turnover margin scares me too much. Anyway, would love to see your Final Four, your national champion. March Madness is here. Let's roll.